Hi, Dustin. It's Janet Gardner from Vixen.
Janet, how you doing today?
Good. How are you doing?
I'm excellent. Thank you so much for joining me today.
Oh, my pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Well, let's talk a bit about the new Vixen album, Live Fire. What are the listeners in for with the new one?
Well, we definitely, captured our live essence. We filmed it at the Arcada Theater in Chicago, and it's this great old theater that they made into a concert venue, and it's a really cool vibe. So that was kind of special. And, everybody played great. It's got a lot of energy, a lot of excitement. And then we did 2 bonus tracks. We did a never recorded before studio track with Michael Wagner, who also mixed the live stuff.
Okay.
So that was an amazing experience. We went down to Nashville to his studio, and the history in that place, oh my God. And he's such a great guy and a great vibe. So we did a new studio track, and we did an acoustic remake of Edge of a Broken Heart. So, and it's totally different. People are like, oh my God, that's a totally different take on that song. So, yeah, that's it. It's pretty exciting.
Yeah, definitely. The album's out now on Rat Pack Records. You guys sound great on the album. It sounds like you guys haven't missed a step for sure.
I can't believe how great everybody still plays. In fact, I think they're better than ever. I think Roxy and Cher are better than ever, and now we got Britt, and she adds a nice spark. So, yeah, it's really exciting.
Well, and you mentioned the bonus tracks, and I know if you order the album off the Rat Pack site, you guys have all sorts of stuff for the fans, all sorts of different bundles, and a lot of stuff on there.
Oh, yeah. Joe at Rat Pack did an amazing job. I mean, there's like a beautiful white vinyl. There's cassette. It's on every format imaginable. And some of the bundles, you get a lot of stuff for the money. It's I was shocked when he sent me one, and I kept pulling stuff out of there, and I'm like, wow, there's trading cards and just all kinds of goodies.
Well, it sounds like the tour here this past year went well, obviously by Live Fire, and you guys are, still at it and still making great music, and everything sounds just like it did. It's crazy to think, but 30 years ago this year already, that first Vixen album was out.
Yeah, I try not to think about that too much. Yeah, I mean, who'd have thought? I never imagined that we would be out doing what we're doing right now at this point in our lives. I really didn't. It's truly amazing. And, we owe it to our fans that they show up and that they support us. So it's amazing. And, we went to Europe playing some giant festivals that we haven't done that in years. So, yeah, I'm pretty blown away.
Well, and of course, Vixen was a big hit right off the bat. That must have been crazy times for you guys, touring with Ozzy and Bon Jovi and playing those early shows, in those big arenas like that.
Yeah, that was, really crazy. We'd wake up in the morning and I'd have to pinch myself. It's like, wow, are we really doing this? It was pretty surreal. But great memories. Oh my God, what a good time that was. Love the late 80s. Nothing but fun.
Yeah, that's good to hear. I wanted to ask you, Janet, I know in today's climate, with the Me Too movement and that sort of thing, as women in a mostly male-dominated world back then, was it difficult at all for you guys on the road, dealing with other bands, maybe commanding respect from your peers?
Most of the bands were great because, they're Deep Purple and Scorpions, and none of those guys are threatened by anything, and rightfully so. So they were really supportive and great. I mean, I didn't feel a lot of competitiveness from any of the bands, for sure. I mean, there were skeptical critics and skeptical record companies, skeptical business people, but the other bands, I didn't feel any of that. They were pretty open and accepting to us for who we were, just a band.
Yeah, it's awesome. And, of course, Vixen has ties to us here in Minnesota and the Midwest. Do you guys make it back this way at all these days? Kind of reminisce about those times?
Absolutely, we do. Cher is the native Minnesotan. Roxy grew up in Michigan, and I grew up in Montana. So the first time, actually, we ever played in my home state was a few years ago. Back in the day, we never played there. There's a festival called Rockin' the Rivers. So that was great for me to be able to play at home finally after all those years. And we do play in Minnesota, and we played Rock USA in Wisconsin, and sure. We play some festivals and a lot of fairs, things like that, all over the Midwest. So that definitely, we always feel like we're home again.
Yeah, it is interesting. All the different kind of bands, Vixen, and, you got your Replacements, Prince, all these way different kind of sounds, but all coming from kind of the same area. It's interesting to think about.
Yeah, it's a really good melting pot. A lot of different music has come out of, that St. Paul, Minneapolis area. Really, and like you said, very diverse. And I think that's a great thing because you can kind of do your own thing, and, there are people that are going to respond to it.
Well, Janet, I wanted to ask you, I don't know how often you're asked this, but your memories of being in the film Hardbodies. I got to ask you your memories of that.
That's funny. We were, at that time, we were unsigned. We were just an LA band, and I can't even remember. Somebody had heard of us and asked us to be in the movie. So at the time, we were on the road and we needed the money. We wanted to go home and record. And that was going to give us the opportunity to, not have to scrape for money so much. So we did it, and it was hilarious because, we were hanging out in Malibu in a beautiful beach house. And there was a lot of hurry up and wait, a lot of sitting around doing nothing. But it was so beautiful. We go sit on the beach. We had guitars there. And the redheaded kid that played Rags,
sure,
he was a huge Beatles fan. And he had a guitar, so he would play and we'd all sing. And, yeah, good times. It was a lot of fun. There was some boring stuff where it was like, can we go now? Do we have to sit here the whole time? But for the most part, it was interesting. And, we'd watch them film the other scenes, and it was cool. It was a great thing at the time. It served us well, and we had fun doing it.
Well, I'm hoping maybe someday, maybe on the website, part of like an ultra exclusive mega bundle, we might see some of those old Diaper Rash songs released.
It's possible. It's possible. There was a couple, I thought really good songs, and then some that I would rather forget. But and I would rather everyone forget. But you never know. Yeah, some of them might pop up here someday.
Awesome. Well, Janet, I know you're busy outside of Vixen. You just had a solo album out recently too. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, my husband, Justin James, is a really talented guitarist, writer, producer. And we moved into a new house and we set up a studio. We had no idea what we were doing. We didn't really plan to do anything together. We just knew, hey, we're both musicians. We're going to want to do some music. So we just sort of set things up, and Justin was down playing guitar, and I was hearing some cool stuff. So I kind of went in and said, what was that you just played? And he was like, what? I don't know. So what's something like this? Rah, 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 rah. And so he was like, oh, that, okay. So we started playing that, and I started singing, grabbed a guitar. We started just throwing stuff together. And before you knew it, we had 10 songs that were ready to go. So then, of course, we didn't know what to do with it. So we thought, well, maybe we should release it ourselves. And we only called Pavement on a whim because we saw their roster and we really liked everything on it. We're like, these guys got great taste in music. So we sent it to them, and they signed us right away. So we were off and running. So we got a band together, and we're out playing and having a great time there too.
So with all that stuff, with the new solo album, the new Vixen album, are you still practicing dentistry on the side too?
I am, very little because we've been so busy. But I do. I still have some patients that are like, hey, You got to take care of me. I'm used to you. So, yeah, I go in, when I'm in town and I have some time, I can book a few patients. I go in and take care of them. I enjoy it. I've gotten to know people. I've seen kids, go from little kids to grown-ups. And so I still do that and enjoy it. And, yeah, I'll keep doing that, too, for a while.
So you're not getting pulled off the road for emergency root canal surgery or anything like that?
Luckily, nobody I know has ever needed emergency cleaning. So I can book people when I'm around. And, yeah, but the poor dentist I work for has to deal with that all the time. But luckily, he lives about 20 seconds away from the office. So he can go in and do those emergency root canals, and I don't have to hear a thing about it. He's really a cool guy, too, and he's so good with, me having to take off to do music and stuff like that, because he gets it. He's like, oh, yeah, you'd be crazy not to. So, yeah, get out of here. I'll see you when you get back.
Oh, that's awesome. And again, the new Vixen album, Live Fire, out on Rat Pack Records. What's next for you and for Vixen? You got any other projects maybe upcoming or something in the works? Well,
we have shows pretty much every weekend through the summer. And Justin and I are going to start up again on the Planet Janet solo band in the fall. We have a bunch of East Coast dates and some Midwest and, scattered all over the place. So that pretty much takes us through the end of the year. And then come January, things will probably slow down and we'll all be working on some new music, getting creative.
Awesome. Again, the new album sounds great, and it's been a pleasure talking with you today. Thank you so much.
Thanks, you too. It's been great talking to you, and hopefully we'll see you out there on the road. If you want to come to a show, just reach out to Joe or us, and we'll make sure you're on the list and taken care of.
Awesome. I will do that. Thank you so much, Janet.
You're welcome. Thank you, too.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.